Welcome back to our journey through the Bible. Have you ever felt like you've gone too far? Like you've made so many mistakes, wasted so many chances, and hurt so many people that there's just no way back? Today's story is for you. It's a story about all of us. A son who thought he'd ruined everything. A father whose love was bigger than any failure. And a brother who just couldn't understand grace. Religious leaders complained and grumbled about Jesus. They just couldn't understand why Jesus, a holy man, would spend his time with people they considered outcasts. He welcomes sinners and eats with them. Jesus told them 3 stories about lost things: a lost sheep, a lost coin, and finally, a lost son. This story today is about a lost son. The story starts with a wealthy man with land, servants, and 2 sons. One day, the youngest son shockingly demands his inheritance from his father. He wants his inheritance before the death of his father. This is a massive insult to his father, essentially wishing his father were dead. It was a profound act of betrayal. The father agrees. He divides his property, giving the younger son his share, which was about 1/3 of the estate. Shortly after, the youngest son sold his third, cashing in his inheritance, selling off family land that had been passed down for generations. It must have broken his father's heart. Upon receiving the money, he moved to a faraway land. He journeyed as far from his father, his home, and his responsibilities as possible. He didn't just move to the next town. He wanted total freedom, but it didn't last. He threw his money away on parties and wild indulgences. He had money, popularity, and pleasure. He squandered his wealth in reckless living. As his money ran out, a severe famine struck the land. He was broke, alone, and desperate. So desperate that he hired himself out to a local citizen who sent him to his fields to feed pigs. For a Jewish man, this was the ultimate humiliation. Pigs were considered unclean animals. To even touch one was degrading, let alone to live among them. This son, who once lived in luxury, was now so hungry he was longing to eat the slop he was feeding the pigs. He had hit rock bottom. The freedom he craved had led him to total emptiness and despair. In the middle of that filthy pigsty, something snapped him back to reality. He had a moment of clarity. Jesus says, he came to himself. He couldn't stop thinking of his father's lowest paid workers, and servants back home were better off than he was now. That moment, he made a decision to go back home. He knew he'd lost all rights as a son. He didn't expect to be welcomed back into the family. He just hoped maybe his father would let him work as a servant so he could survive. He gets up and starts the long walk home, probably rehearsing an apology speech over and over. He was still a long way off, and his father saw him and felt compassion, and ran and embraced him and kissed him. Dignified, wealthy old men did not run. It was considered shameful. This father didn't care. He threw his arms around his dirty, disgraced son and kissed him. The son starts his speech. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Before he can even get the words out, his father cuts him off. He commands his servants, bring the best robe and put it on him, honoring him. Put a ring on his hand, a symbol of authority and family status. Put sandals on his feet. He is not a servant. You are my lost son, and you are home. Let's have a feast and celebrate. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. A huge celebration for the entire community. The older brother was out working in the field, doing his duty. As he came near the house, he heard music and dancing. He asked a servant what was going on. Your brother has returned, safe and sound. The older brother was angry. He exploded with resentment and refused to go inside. His father pleaded with him. All these years I've been slaving for you and never disobeyed. I have never received a young goat to celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours, who has squandered your property with prostitutes, comes home, you kill the fattened calf for him. The older brother's heart was just as lost as the younger brother's, but his was lost right there at home. His father explained, I've always been here, and everything I have is yours. You can have a party any time you want. We have to celebrate and be glad. My boys are back together. Your brother is back home. Our family is together again. This story shows us that God's love is greater than our worst mistakes. When we turn back to Him, He doesn't just tolerate us. He runs to us and celebrates. It shows us that true repentance isn't just about feeling bad. It's about coming home. It also warns us. We can be like the older brother, doing all the right things on the outside, but with a heart that's far from God, full of pride and judgment. Which son are you? Maybe you feel far from home, thinking you've messed up too badly. Come home. It's not too late. God is here today. He's watching and waiting to welcome you with open arms. Or maybe you've followed the rules, but you're resentful of God's grace towards others, who you feel don't deserve it. Let go of your pride and come inside, join the celebration. In God's family, there's always a party when a lost one is found, and there's always room for one more. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe. See you next time.